Hey, what's up everyone? Got this absolutely stunning view behind me today from my roof here. I want to talk about my thoughts on Jungle Scout, whether you need it or not, and we're going to be getting into that. I thought it'd be kind of fun to actually hop into the computer and do some fact-driven stuff. I've seen some videos about people's opinions on Jungle Scout. It's kind of just them like this talking, probably not somewhere as beautiful, maybe in like a coffee shop or something, but we're gonna get into it. So basically, for everyone who doesn't want to watch the whole video, spoiler alert, you don't need it. You definitely don't need it. But we're gonna get into why you don't, and in certain situations where you do need it, and we're gonna talk about all those things right now, so stick around. What's up guys? You're here in the computer. Only thing that you didn't see is I just made pizza bites and an iced coffee. So let's get into it. So I'm going to show you literally, how everything that Jungle Scout does can be done manually. And before this software existed, you had to do it manually. There's no other option. It's not like people just didn't sell on Amazon, but now I think people get way too caught up with the softwares. Get a software or not, I really don't care. This is just my opinion about, I think you should understand the fundamentals of anything before you go and try and master something. Like a karate black belt, they master the fundamentals, right? So that's the same with business. You need to master the fundamentals, and I think knowing what Jungle Scout is doing and how to do that manually yourself is more important to your understanding of the business as a whole. So let's get into it. So we're on Amazon right here, and we're not going to be using Jungle Scout at all. So for instance, I'll kind of show you. There's actually a free thing that a lot of people don't even know about. So let's just look up, something kind of niche related. We'll just start typing. So I'll do like spray bottle. Cool, whatever. It doesn't really matter. So let's say that you found this product and you went in just on Amazon, you found this and you were wondering if you were going to sell this. What do you need to know? So we need to know how many sales these people are making, right? How many sales are they getting, so that we know if it's makes sense to sell. How much are they profiting? What's their revenue? We could figure that out for free. I'm using the best sellers rank. So we'll come in here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at this listing's bestseller rank. So all you have to do is you come down here. All right, cool. So they're number 261 in beauty and personal care. That's all we need to know. And then you come over here and you do bestseller rank calculator. In Jungle Scout, this is actually Jungle Scout's, it's totally free. It's just a website. Bestsellers rank. So what was it? It was 280 something, 260 something, 261. So you're gonna put 261 for bestsellers rank. So if you're wondering where that is, it is right here, Amazon bestsellers rank. And you want to look at this broader one, right? We're not doing number one because that's not a main category. What is it in the main category? So 261 in beauty and personal care. Come here, marketplace is obviously going to be the United States. Maybe not so obvious. So then we're going to come in, and all that we're going to do is beauty and personal care, and 261 is the best sellers rank. So we're going to calculate sales. It's going to give you monthly sales. So they're literally selling 6,390 per month. That's a lot, and I expected that because this is a very competitive market. It's a very broad item. And then that's just one product, right? And we'll act like that's not there either. That's another tool. So let's say you're just looking at that. I mean, it's Amazon's choice. It's at the top of the page. There are many, that looks like silicone bottles. So, and then we would compare, right? So now we have that. We know that listing is doing 6,300 sales. So then all you would have to do, guys, is you would figure out. Now we go to a calculator. Why did that happen? Calculator, cool. And then all we would have to do is 778. And then we're actually gonna multiply that by the number of sales, estimated sales per month. So we'll just say 6,000 to be safe in case it's a little off. They're doing about 46,000 a month in revenue, right? So that's revenue. And then now let's try and figure out their actual profit margin. So we'll just assume it cost $1 for that, okay? And then here's another thing. So like with the extension now, it calculates the fees, and that's how you know what the fees are. But also there's a free way of doing that. So we would take the ASIN out of the URL. This is old school right here. Take the ASIN, and we're gonna go to Amazon FBA calculator. You just search that. Cool, and this is by Seller Central. So obviously Jungle Scout and Seller Central all have tools for sellers. We can get rid of that now. So we would take that ASIN that we just grabbed, and we're gonna put it in there. And then the item price was $7.78, so that's what they're actually selling it at. And the cost of product, we're just gonna guess and say it's $1. I think that's fair. Cool, so you can actually see the fees now. So there's selling on Amazon fee, so that's a referral fee, is 62 cents. And then $3.22 for fulfillment. So that means Amazon's picking, packing, and shipping your product. So that's $3. So seller proceeds is $3.94. So right off the bat, we're at a 37% net margin. Cool. So then we would come back to our calculator, and we know if it's 37%, calculator, cool. And then okay, I guess it's doing it on the homepage, that's okay. And then so it was like 46,000, right? And then we do time 0.37 because that's your margin percentage. So you're doing about 17,000 per month in profit. Is that cool? That was very rough estimate, right? So we figured out exactly how much this listing is making for free. Like all those things were free. So there you go. That is what the Jungle Scout Chrome extension, that's essentially all it does. That's what that does. So now we need to kind of figure out the price history and the sales history. So we can also do that for free. Here's a very good example. So this is a free tool. This is Helium 10. And now this is technically a software, but it is free. But let's just act like this doesn't even exist. So you could actually see when they got ranked. They really just started in, okay, no, that's 2017. So they've been selling for years and years and years, and they're doing great. They've never run out of stock. They're doing awesome. Sales history, their price has always been around $6 to $7. That seems pretty normal, so that looks okay. Let's say that tool didn't exist either. You should understand even how that is happening, what that tool is doing. We would take the ASIN. It's actually Camel, and that is a website for free that is the same thing. So you would search the ASIN in there, and it's gonna pull it up. That price is not right. That's weird. That's okay though. It's showing this one, the 916 right there. That's what I thought it was doing. And then you can actually get this graph right here. So we could look at the past year, right? And then what we're seeing is the price history. And then if you want to see, I'm not signed in right now, you could actually see the sales history as well if you create an account. I'm not signed in, I'm not going to do that, but here's a free website example of that, exactly. So there you go. That is a free way of looking at the history of the sales, seeing how long they've been selling, how well they've been selling. Important things, the Jungle Scout does obviously much quicker for a cost though. So this is the free method. And then, so like that was the Chrome extension. So we just pretty much showed you that you could use free methods, literally showed you exactly how to do it to find out how much people are making. Keep in mind, we just did that in, I don't know what the time is, I can't see it. It's probably like 6 minutes, right? So one listing took us about that much time. To be fair, I'm explaining it as I go. So it's not quite as quick as Jungle Scout, but it was done. So now let's talk about the web app, right? So Jungle Scout has a feature, and I could show it to you really quick if you're not really that familiar with it. Yeah, go ahead and sign in for me. Cool. So come in here, you go to product database, and this is mainly what I'm referring to when I say the web app is mainly this tool. Of course, there's a ton of other super helpful tools, especially for keyword research. I don't use the supplier database that much, but Niche Hunter, product database, and keywords are all included with this. You also can launch and use email campaigns. So this is just a phenomenal piece of software. I love it. But here's why you don't need this either, because this is doing what you can also do manually. So I'm going to show you. So all this does is it's pulling up Amazon's catalogs. There's 71 million products there. And it's showing you the categories of Amazon. And it's going to sort through Amazon for you. So we would put in a price range and reviews, and we would put in a category we wanted to look in, and we'd hit search, and it's going to pull up products that fit those criteria. So now let's try and do that for free, right? So all we'd have to do is let's go into arts, crafts, and sewing. And then we would search, so this is a technique you could do. You just search negative, and then you type in gibberish. And then now, so we're arts, crafts, and sewing. And this is funny, a lot of people don't realize this. You could come right over here. I don't want to see anything under $18. I don't want to see anything over $55. That looks awful similar to the web app, right? Hit go on that, so it's going to kind of take away everything that was more expensive or less expensive. And then listing quality scores, we could say I don't want to see anything that actually doesn't make sense. Never mind, forget what I was about to say. And then we could click in farther and farther every time. So let's see, photo storage box, 81 reviews. So let's say, yeah, we could use that as an example. Cool, let's do that. So let's say that was our idea. So it has 81 reviews, and now we have to try and figure out if that's a good product. So what would we do? Well, we would do everything I just showed you. So we would have to come down here, and we'd have to take the sales rank, right, which I went by, I think. Yeah, it's right there. 3 and 3. You go to arts, crafts, and sewing. So we change this to arts, crafts, and sewing, which is going to be up here. And that's 303, and calculate sales. So we're selling about 1,800 of those a month. Makes sense, they're ranked really well. And then we'd take our calculator and do 1,800. This is going to be great, and at $25.99, right? So we're doing 46,000 in sales. Let's say they have a 40% margin. You do that, times 40. So you're doing, 18,000 a month in profit. 40% margin on something that big is being generous, to say the least. But definitely possible. I think it's probably possible. They're probably getting this made for $5. It's a pretty big product, shipping, and the fees are going to be a little bit much. But let's see how long they've been selling. So of course you could use camel, but it looks like this is also free, so I'm just going to use this. Because we're pretty much talking about should you buy it. Started selling in March. They've been doing crazy good ever since. So then what would you want to do to analyze, right? So you would go into here. You would change it to all departments first of all, and then you would do like a photo case. And then, so here's all of them, right? So that's one example, but we would not just want to look at what one listing is doing. So maybe we'd also want to look at, this one, okay? So you would go in, and if you wanted to figure out, because we don't want to just go off of one listing. What beautiful thing about Jungle Scout is it shows us how well is everyone doing. So here's the thing where this starts to kind of die out. This could start to take weeks when you're doing multiple products. In the click of a button, I can see what all these people are making, and it's going to do in the background what you now understand I manually just did. It's going to do all that in one click, and it's going to show it to me instantly. I could probably snap my finger, slower than that's going to pop up. So I would have to come in here, and every different listing, I'd have to go do the sales rank, do the multiplication, and figure out how much they're making per month, and we'll get a revenue rough estimate. And that's just the numbers. There's a lot of variables. So like, what does page 2 look like? What does page 3 look like? How many sellers are there? Are those all the same? Are they different sizes? What size is selling best? So those are all things you would want to look out for. So basically, we just did both of the things. So I'm going to start wrapping this up. We did what the web app does. You could come in here, you could sort by price. You don't have as many criteria to sort by, but you could come into, home and kitchen, do the same thing, right? You could come into home and kitchen. Okay, so we're still looking at this product. We're looking at photo case in home and kitchen, but we would want to just look in home and kitchen. Okay, and then you'd keep going in, and you know what I did. So you click on the price range, find products, and then for free, if you wanted to figure out how well they were doing, use the free calculator, type in the price. And even before that free calculator existed, that didn't exist at one point. So there was literally like this chart that's getting the information from, where it's like this number in this sales rank equals this many sales, and they're all different, right? So to show you an example of what I mean by that, if we simply change this to baby, rank 303 is going to be a lot more sales than in arts, crafts, and sewing. So literally almost 1,000 more sales, same exact sales rank. So sales rank is subjective to categories. So I think people get really caught up in the tools. They spend all their time on this. They spend, here's something funny that we can do. We'll go photo case, right? And then let's actually just pull up Jungle Scout and show you how quick it would have been to just figure out all that information. So instantly, we're gonna have the monthly sales here. We're gonna have the revenue. We're gonna have the reviews. So for instance, this one, I think we determined it was making about $48,000 in revenue. We were pretty close, honestly. That's pretty close. And then now we have all of these to look at. We have the reviews right in front of our face. We have the monthly sales, all the prices lined up. You can see all the brands. So this is a good example. When you see this right here, like one brand just dominating a market, that's a good example of something to stay away from. There's like 4 main brands dominating this. They're probably running ads on other markets. They're using other strategies. So they're kind of dominating. Looks a little competitive to me, but we're not really analyzing this product right now. Point was, you should understand the fundamentals, and you should be able to analyze on logic, not just looking at a tool. So just because you show me this Jungle Scout right here and we sort it how it was, I can't really tell you if this is a good product or not. Like, are those all the same products? Are they different sizes? Which size is selling best? What does page 3 look like? What does page 10 look like? So there's a lot of things you need to understand how to do before you start looking at the numbers, so that you could actually apply meaning to those numbers. And now, here's the question, is what is your time worth? Okay, so I value my time as my most important asset. I think luckily I started reading from a really young age, listening to podcasts. I remember listening to Tim Ferriss's podcast in biology, or some kind of chemical class in high school. That's the point. I remember the principles I learned in the podcast every day with my headphones in, acting like I was working, but I don't remember what the class was about. So it's a good point. Value your time, right? So value your time. If you can do this in one click and you have the money to do that, it doesn't make sense to do this. Dean Graziosi puts this in a really good way. His dad flipped out on him. He used to, got into real estate really young. Saw him, his dad was real old fashioned, paid him to, do all his work for himself. Always cut your own lawn, never pay someone to do that, right? That's a waste of money. So he pulls up to the rental property. Dean had paid someone to cut the grass, and his logic there was, what am I doing? I'm spending 6 hours a day cutting this, on Saturday cutting this grass. I could have spent that 6 hours making, 10 grand flipping another property, going out and looking for more properties. It doesn't make sense. I should be delegating that. And that's essentially the way I look at it. Is like, especially when you start scaling up and you're doing this every single day, you want to be able to do it more efficiently. But understand the fundamentals first. So if you're going to get Jungle Scout, I'd say do this first. Go try it. Do you like it? Do you like product research? Is this business for you? Do you crave it? Are you going to, withstand the failures? If you're not, just don't start. It's that simple, right? No, not everyone has to do this business. The less people, the better, actually. So if you're really going to change your life financially, get started and practice the fundamentals before you go investing in some expensive software, right? Your first car shouldn't be a Ferrari. Practice the fundamentals in a Passat, right? Does that make sense? So that's pretty much it, guys. I think it's extremely worth it Is it worth it? Yes, absolutely it's worth it, but it's not necessary. So if we change the question just a little bit, the answer does change. So it's a tool that came out and there was people doing it before. So you'd have to be an idiot to think you need this to start, right? In some extreme examples, I might say you do need it to start. So the Jungle Scout, I would say this feature right here, the extension, absolutely 100% necessary. Well, I guess 99% necessary, right? I changed the phrasing there. It just speeds you up so much, but I want you to understand what you're using this for first before you get it. If you are gonna get it, I appreciate the hell out of you. If you get it from my link, I get a little bit of a commission from that. So Jungle Scout paid me a little bit. If you're gonna get it anyway, you can get it down. I'll have a link. There's actually a discount link that you can only get through my link. It's an affiliate link. So yeah, help me out if you want it. Again, I just showed you how to do it for free, so it doesn't matter if you get it or not. The web app, I start with this every single day, and I think it's an amazing tool as well. Again, it's just speeding you up, okay? It's not gonna revolutionize anything, it's just gonna make you faster and more efficient. So we're gonna leave it there. I think, yes, it's 100% worth it, and it's amazing software that I've been using for almost 2 years now. Great, but it's not, you could get by without it, and I think you should understand the fundamentals first. So other than that, guys, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It does help me out a ton, especially as we're growing, and I appreciate every one of you guys. Thanks so much. If you're new here, you can go take my free full-length Amazon FBA course. Okay, we're destroying the gurus. Everything that they're teaching in their courses, I've taken many of them. I've sold on Amazon for close to 18 months now, about a year and a half. I have 8 products launched. It's my full-time job. So if you want to learn everything from start to finish, it's donation-based. You go take that. Will be the first link in the description, called Savage Sellers Course. Along with, if you need Jungle Scout, that'll be in the description as well. Other than that, guys, I hope you're having a great start to your week. It is just Monday. We're just getting started. I got up at 5 a.m. today and was doing a ton of product research all morning. And this question arose in my mind, so I thought I would answer it for you. All right, guys. Bye.